Sticks. Good. And action.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Book Net. I've got some good books to talk about this time I'm pretty excited about. This week, the new one that I've read that I absolutely loved out of all of them would be the Dustland series. So this was the first book in the Dustland series, and it's called Blood Red Road. And it's by, I hope I'm saying it, Moria Young. And I'm not quite sure how I found out about this book. I think I kind of stumbled upon it. But a lot of people are advertising it as, you know, for fans of the Hunger Games and all that kind of stuff. And anytime you throw out those kind of words, it's always going to work for me. So I gave it a shot, and I really liked it a lot, which I'm really happy about. I'd bought in a handful of other books and kind of had ones that I really wanted to read and some that I didn't, and I kind of was like, all right, I'm going to read those ones first so I can get to the ones I really want to read. And I read this one first, actually, and that was like a big mistake because I ended up like loving it. It's, I wouldn't say dystopian like the Hunger Games. I think that kind of gives it the wrong idea. I would say more post-apocalyptic. It's a story of a young girl. It takes place in a post-apocalyptic kind of place. They live in an old dried-out lake, and there's no water, and there's always, you know, struggle to find food and whatnot. And one day, her brother gets kidnapped by these men in black, basically, and it's her goal to go out there and find her brother. And they've been raised in this kind of, you know, dried-out lake for their entire life, so she's never ventured outwards. And so it's kind of a scary journey for herself, too, because she doesn't know what's out there. And along the road, she, you know, meets some allies, meets some enemies, gets, you know, taken advantage by some people, gets captured herself, has to escape, and this whole time, she's still trying to find out information about where her brother is and why he was taken. And there's all sorts of cool characters along the way. A group of Free Hawks, which is these like young warrior girls, were a lot of fun. I liked them a lot. Also, a great character, Jack, a guy she meets when she herself is kidnapped as well. And it's definitely like more post-apocalyptic. A lot of people said that they liked it and that if you like the Hunger Games, you should read it, which I think you should. If you like the Hunger Games, you would like this one too. But I don't think it was the same as Hunger Games. Not the same as Hunger Games as like Divergent was. This was completely different on its own. It's definitely, you know, there is no really corrupt government sending them to games or anything. There's just a lot of corrupt people, and, you know, there is no government, but a lot of bad guys have guns, and you kind of have to listen to them because, you know, they have a weapon and you don't. And it's basically a journey tale. She starts from her home, and she journeys to find her brother, and she just happens upon all these different types of, you know, old decrepit cities and wreckage from past civilizations, and she meets different people all along the way. And it's just a really cool journey, and it reminded me more of kind of like The Postman, if anybody's fans of those. Postmans or Waterworld, where, you know, the earth is just completely different. It's barren or completely filled with water, in this case barren, and just like Postman, there's no real government, there's just a bunch of bad guys who kind of end up, you know, being the man in charge, and people listen to him because they're scared of him. So that's basically how it goes. Saba herself is a really cool character. She is very tough on the outside, just like a lot of, you know, young heroines in a lot of books we have. But she doesn't have this soft spot right away, and she kind of has to learn to find her soft spot. She really only cares about her brother, even so much to the point where she has a younger sister that she really doesn't care about at all. And not only is the journey of her trying to find her brother, but also the journey of her kind of, you know, accepting her sister and realizing that she does care and love about her sister because she's younger. And, you know, before, kind of when something would happen to her sister, didn't really, you know, all right, well, that's too bad. I got to find my brother. I don't care too much about that. And then it kind of turns into something where she's concerned and cares about her sister. So it was really great to see Saba kind of, you know, she gets even tougher because of the whole journey, but at the same time, she just gets more emotional because she finds people who, you know, she can relate with. She's been by herself just with her brother for so long, and now she's meeting all these people, and some she can trust, some she can't. But it was really cool. The writing style was a little strange at first and took me a little bit to get into. The author doesn't use any quotation marks when people are speaking, which she does on purpose. It wasn't like she had bad grammar or anything like that. But it kind of took me a while to realize when is somebody describing something or when is somebody actually saying something out loud to somebody. And you get into the groove of it, but it took a little bit. And also, they all talk in kind of a slang, twangy accent, and she writes that pronunciation. Think Harry Potter fans, J.K. Rowling would write how Hagrid would actually sound. So it was kind of like that. So there's misspellings all over the place, but it's not really misspellings. It's more that that's what they literally sound like when they're talking to you, which actually is really cool and kind of makes you feel like you know them even more. But Dustlands was totally awesome. So far, one of my favorite books that I've read in, last couple months maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it was awesome. Also, this book has been picked up and optioned by Ridley Scott, which a lot of people probably know. And it's surprising you wouldn't think of that director to be a guy who would do kind of a YA novel, but he did, and there's tons of potential in that. Moving on with Ridley Scott, just a couple other books I read this week that I wanted to talk about was Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? So this is the book that Blade Runner is based off of, which I actually didn't know at first, and Ridley Scott made that movie too, which is kind of the connection I'm going for. This one was really cool, short, quick read, doesn't take too long, and I hadn't read any Philip Dick before, and I'm really glad I did. If you haven't seen, Blade Runner, haven't read this, it's about Earth, and people go off-world now because the Earth is so, messed up from nuclear war, and if you go off-world, the government gives you an incentive, and they give you an android, and androids try to escape to Earth and live as humans, and our main character, his job is to go and hunt down these androids. But really, it was kind of one of those classic old novels that maybe you would read in like high school or college because there was always some bigger metaphor the author was trying to explain. And the one I kind of got from this was, humans are the ones that have emotions and empathies, and, robots and machines, they'll never have that. As well as we build robots and keep trying to make them as human-like as we can, they're still not going to have the same emotional feelings as we do. And that's kind of what Dick was trying to say in this. He was trying to say some other kind of stuff too, I know, but I'm not great always with like the metaphorical to like what life is all about kind of books, but it was really fun and I liked it. It's fast-paced, it's a good read. If you like science fiction, this is definitely like a really good ultimate science fiction fan. And the last one would be The Poison Study by Maria Snyder. This one I saw all over online, and I bought it, and I was really excited for it. I have to say, though, I was a little disappointed in it. Not as awesome as I thought. The plot sounds so good right away. Our lead character, she's up next to be executed for murder, which she admits to, and in the territory she lives at, when a food taster is needed, because the other one, ate something bad, probably, the person who becomes the next food taster is the person who's up next for execution. So our main character basically kind of gets a somewhat second chance. She's not free, but she doesn't get killed, and she has to become the food taster. So not only is she dealing with enemies of people who are maybe mad that she escaped death, but also she's dealing with trying to figure out, who might be trying to poison the leader because I'm eating his food. So I was really excited about it. The writing kind of just didn't really work for me. I had a tough time kind of liking any of the characters. Not liking them, but feeling like I actually got to know them. There wasn't too much backstory. There's a little bit of backstory for our main character, but even that was all kind of like foggy and kind of vague. So sometimes I thought I knew what happened to her, and then sometimes I was like, okay, but I really don't exactly. It was all around good. I just kind of, I guess I wished for a little bit more detail, make it a little richer. But a lot of people like this, and I'd be interested to see what other people think of this book. So if you have any comments or anything you want to say to me or recommend any books, post something down below. Also, if you've read Poison Study and you have a different opinion, please let me know, because I think it's interesting how many people I see really like this and it just didn't work for me. So I kind of want to figure out maybe what that was. But all my links are below. Follow on Facebook and WordPress. I've got a written review for Poison Study and for Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep online. And if you want to kind of check out more about what I thought of them, it's going to go more into detail on that. So yeah. So keep reading and let me know what you think. Give me some books to read and I'll let you guys know. Thanks. Go read!